coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
And so I'm like, I'm just going into the woods to be like cannibalized or something. Hello, my name is Jeffrey Dahmer.
Something-ized you could be.
Yeah. Of all the eyes, cannibalized is actually not the worst.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom,
The podcast that takes a shallow dippity dip, almost a skinny dip, into
Skinny what?
a skinny what? Into a popular idiom or a phrase or a saying. We're going to talk about its meaning, where it comes from, all that kind of fun stuff. But mostly, we'll talk about whatever we feel like it and somehow loosely connect it to the idiom so we can make an excuse. My name is Jurassic Mark.
and I am Skinny.
And today we're going to talk about something in this clip right here.
To the future! Shotgun!
There it is.
Shotgun.
Shotgun. Called shotgun.
We've all played some teen shotgun.
Oh, totally. There's all sorts of rules to it, too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. I made sure to print some out, actually.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, I have the,
Wonder if your
the
rules
list of shotgun
differ
There
than-
is shotgunrules.com for those who are
Actually?
Yes, there's a full site dedicated to it. I have a shotgun story from last night. We are pre-filming a couple weeks because we're going to be on some holiday time, the big wedding coming up, and that sort of thing. And we're in the middle of a gold hunt.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
Quick snapshot, because for those who haven't been listening all the way along.
Right, by the time this comes out, it won't matter. So gold hunt is $100,000 has been placed in our city, and you're given a list of clues, 16 riddles to unscramble in order to lead you to the next phase, and so on and so forth, which will end up leading somebody to $100,000. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And so normally you're on deep into the team, but you got your own problems right now, or you're in it thick
What do you mean?
with the rest of life. And
Oh.
so I was riding shotgun with our third teammate
yeah.
last night, Julian, and we were heading off. We were pretty convinced that there was something out at UBC, the University of British Columbia,
Okay.
which is like nowhere near most anything. It's in a beautiful area, but it's like on a peninsula.
But it's its own world out there. Yeah, totally.
It may as well be its own city.
Yeah.
It's like 40,000 people or something.
Right
like
on
that.
the coast, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So we're on our way there, and I'm riding shotgun.
Okay.
And so I'm in the, and so one of the clues had something about observe the such and such, and whatever the king is staring at something in quotes in 2 words, and we're thinking that we're going out to UBC to look for this King George statue. Like,
Okay.
maybe he's looking at something in the distance that we can't quite see. They were very clever this time to exclude things that would be on Google Earth.
Oh, so you got to actually
Yeah, you're
trek
gonna have to
out.
go to these locations. We're like, off to UBC we go, and so
Right.
we're just crossing through middle of Vancouver on our way there, and whoa!
What?
That I had that moment.
You actually made me jump. I
I-
looked down just as you did that.
I'm pretty sure I made Julian jump inside of his chair. He was driving. I'm in shotgun. I'm like, wait a minute. What about the observatory?
Okay.
There's a planetarium with like moons.
yeah.
Outer space observatory there,
Sure.
laser light show display, and all the rest of that nonsense.
Also in a beautiful area with the beaches.
Thank you. And so it was not even on our radar, but just the way they observe, when you're reading something like 100 times, but it turns out one of the rules of riding shotgun is that you are supposed to navigate.
You're the navigator.
You are the navigator,
Yeah.
and you're sentinel.
And carry a large weapon.
Yes. For those people, yes. And so I'm like, I'm in charge of like navigation, and it's like, okay, in 200 meters, you're going to go left on Granville, and then 300 meters, you're going to do this, and 200 meters that. So I was doing my part, but then I had this like total brain,
Light bulb.
like Jimmy Neutron moment.
Right.
And I'm like, let's go to the observatory. He's like, no, man, we got a plan. We're going to go here, we go here. I'm like, it's the observatory. The way it hit me, it was the observatory. So we go there. And we're looking around, nothing.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, oh, sorry, man, I just wasted like an hour of our time. And so kind of as we're like just kind of getting in that abstract looking at things,
Yeah.
dude comes along, just reeks of booze, and he's on his bicycle.
Right.
And he's like, hey, you guys on the gold hunt?
How you doing?
Hey,
there,
on
guy?
the gold hunt? It's like
He actually knew what you were doing.
So
Oh, wow.
I think he just downed half a case of Luckies, and
Yeah.
he was ready to come. He's gold hunting. He's like, oh man, like, yeah, I've got this one. He's killing it. So
Really?
he must have been killing it for a few days, and then just drank that day.
So you realize that alcohol is the
she's
helper.
like, you got this one? I'm like, no. Like the people we've talked to, no one has this one. How about this one? No. Like we're doing way worse than you. Like you're doing great. You've got like 5, 6 more than we have. And so I don't know if he felt bad or if he was just drunk or whatever his reasons are. He's like,
started helping you.
He's like, come on over here. We're like,
further into the woods.
At this point, it's just me and him. He's like, do you have a friend here? I'm like, yep. I'm like, I can't see Julian anywhere.
I have 6 friends.
Exactly. That's what Julian said afterwards. I have lots of friends here. And so I'm like, I'm just going into the woods to be like cannibalized or something. Hello, my name is Jeffrey Dahmer.
Something eyes you could be.
Yeah. Of all the eyes, cannibalized is actually not the worst. And so he takes us around to the, takes me around to this area. It's just there's a little bit further. We got to go around here. We got to go into the stairs.
Honestly, are you legit concerned?
I am 40% like I'm going to be eyesed.
Right.
Yeah, like it's not good. Lo and behold, he lays like, this is the plaque you're looking for.
For number whatever.
No. And he goes, yep, it's right there. It took me forever to find it. I can't believe it, but I actually finally found it.
No way.
And so he just coughs up one just because he's a kind person.
Wow.
Or drunk or whatever.
Isn't that funny, though, that first impression? We've talked about this before, judging a book by its cover, right? Yes. Where you're just like, what am I doing?
I'm going to be eyesed right out here, right
now.
Right
over here. The observatory.
This is where it is. I actually messaged Julian in our hangout group. It's like,
nice knowing you.
Come look for my body here.
Oh, I saw that. I was in that message group. I thought that was a clue for one of the puzzles. And I'm like, and then didn't he respond with which half?
Yeah.
Top or bottom?
He said which half. Which half of you will be there? I'm like, I don't know. So anyways, we get there, and then he
helps
He's
you.
like, yeah, this took me forever, whatever. Yeah, it was tricky. There's a couple in this area, and that one. I'm like, okay, really appreciate your help, and I'd give you a hug, but it was weird. And so so I'm talking to Julie. It's like, he said a couple. I don't know if he's just like drunk and just talking crazy.
Maybe.
But just maybe, lo and behold, we start putting pieces together that kind of fit in the area, and there was a second one in the area.
Oh my goodness.
And so as it stands, we have 11 out of 16.
16.
So we are 5 short of this thing. We've got some solid leads and about 3 more.
Wow.
Yeah, so today is...
I'm supposed to be in this game, but I've got a crazy week.
Yeah, you got a kid getting married, and in terms of at work, there's like this.
There's like equivalent to an RSP season for an accountant.
It's like tax season, but this week.
Yeah.
It's like it all like super collided for you. We feel bad, but we're having fun. We can't drag you in.
You know what? A busy week is not gonna influence. Recording this podcast.
Absolutely. No matter how busy.
I'm riding shotgun on this episode.
So that riding shotgun, that you have responsibilities. Your responsibilities include...
Yeah, it's not just, I got the front seat.
You are being lookout.
Yeah.
You are the navigator.
The travel... we have to...
I'll go through the rest of them.
Oh, okay. Rules or responsibilities?
Rules. There's the responsibilities on the site. We'll get into rules later. The dozing. That your job is to prevent the pilot from going to sleep.
Okay, so legit, back in boy band days when I was touring around with the boys, that was a thing. So if you were driving, like this is before we could afford, got to the point where we had drivers and tech people with us. But in the beginning, it's
4 guys in a car.
That's right? Yeah. And so if you were driving, it was typically through the night to get somewhere. So it was 2 of you, not 1 of you, because you don't risk the driver falling asleep.
No, and we've all been in those moments where you're just, I'm going to rest my left eye.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to switch out now. I'm going to rest my right eye.
The road's pretty straight. I bet I could do 5 seconds just to get...
I bet I can do 5 seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Okay. It's terrible.
I used to create games like Like I would choose only talk radio. So this is pre like internet playing pre-podcast. You got the radio.
Coast to coast.
Yep, coast to coast.
Or they would do like
multi-country.
aliens. Or they talk about like aliens.
Oh, coast to coast, the show.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a keeper for staying awake.
They would talk about, so Area 51, and this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And they're pretty sure that they have an alien brain. No one can prove it.
I don't know what it was. As long as they were speaking, not singing, I could usually stay awake.
So you must keep the driver from falling asleep. The other thing,
next.
You must unwrap fast food and present it to them.
Oh, that makes sense. I've had that shotgun person do that.
So, when you're trying to fumble in an unwrap thing,
Yep.
it is the responsibility of the shotgunner.
Don't touch my food.
Don't touch the food, but you unwrap it for them.
Yeah.
And you present them the food.
Yeah,
they're to be taken care of.
The cupbearer.
Yes. Text by proxy.
Okay, yeah.
So you must prevent them from texting.
Makes sense.
And in the rules, it actually freaks out a bit. Like, you will take their phone away and scold them.
And you will die if you don't.
Yeah, and so they're allowed to text through you, but
Yep.
you can type these things. They are the DJ.
The driver or the shotgun?
Shotgun.
Oh.
Official responsibility.
See, that's where I differ. I'm like, if you're driving, you get to pick the music.
Well, I don't dispute that you get to pick it, but they got to do it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of their responsibilities, they are
Fair enough.
They are the maitre d' to the
They
back
are
seats.
flipping the discs.
Yes.
Splitting the disc.
Splitting the disc. They are the maitre d' to the back seats.
Okay.
Yep. And general gatekeeper and response.
More of a concierge.
Rule 9. This is on their official.
Who's they? Their official.
The official
There's
people.
a shotgun.
The official people. They have a website.
The
It's true.
International Shotgun Organization. ISO.
The final rule: driving and playing Pokemon Go is strictly prohibited.
Good. That's hilarious. This is an up-to-date one.
Yeah.
Ish.
With graphics and everything. Isn't that funny?
That's great. I love that. I agree with all that. Shotgun is such. There is some rules, and it does vary. Sometimes you meet somebody else, they're like, "Oh, that's not how we do it." So in my family, when the kids were getting a little bit older, now it's different because my two boys are 20 and 22, but we have a little girl who's 11, and she's getting into it, yelling shotgun. Just to beat out her brothers, right? So. But funny is...
You don't get shotgun, you're 11.
The boys, when they were younger, it got to a point of, like, there were full-on brawls when it didn't go someone's way, right? So I had to change it because shotgun actually became a problem. So in my effort to teach them kindness, I made a new rule that I guarantee is in none of the shotgun rules. I said, you can only call shotgun for your brother. You can't call it for yourself.
Interesting.
So the only way they could
Shotgun.
get shotgun is if the other brother felt kindness in his heart to give it to you.
Shotgun your brother before he
guess
shotguns
what?
you.
Most of the time, both in the back seat.
Really?
They weren't giving it to each other.
So they were both the choose in the back.
It changed. They got into a pattern where it was a little more back and forth.
So I have 4 kids, same problem, and there is one that's particularly like
the instigator.
Yeah, she's just that one extra little step
quickness?
ahead, and be like, boom, she'd be in the car like first every time.
Yeah.
And so as they grew up, we implemented a chart.
Oh, wow.
So we had to break it down. Finally, there was a Sunday to Saturday chart, and the next privilege was who got middle seats.
Oh, that you want the middle seat?
They wanted middle seats.
Oh, interesting. We never wanted middle
They don't want back seats. I don't know if it was just motion sick or feeling weird or.
Oh, because you're talking minivan situation.
Yeah, there's
here.
6 of us.
Okay.
So yeah, you're not necessarily jamming into a Honda Civic.
Right.
And so.
So middle is just clear view of the road kind of thing.
So if it's me and my wife, then we would get that. We would be in
There's
the front.
no calling shotgun if mom and dad are both there.
Yes. And then they would have assigned days, but so there's 4 of them and only 7 days. So another one chose to have extra mid seating privileges.
Okay.
In order to balance out the equation.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
so you could trade 2 mid seats for a 1 shotgun.
Yes.
Like they're trading MVPs.
Yes. So he doubled up on mid seats. So yeah, he only had rear seat once a week.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so they follow that to this day.
Really?
Yeah. So he's 18. Yeah, and it's still like
It's stuck.
Yeah, whose day is it? What's that? And they just concede.
They know.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's Tuesdays. This is so and so's day.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it makes all fighting go away. So shotgun was abolished in our house.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just became a round robin.
Yeah, round robin is a better description.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
That's awesome.
everybody
That's
finds
yeah.
their gem.
So I've heard we always did. You have to have the car in sight. You can't, like, if you're in a restaurant, it's okay, we're paying the bill. You can't shout it out then. You got to see the car.
There is a booklet, and I kid you not, it's got to be
Is this from the same International Shotgun Organization?
Yes. It's a 9-page booklet of rules.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, with diagrams and pictures.
Oh, my
I know,
goodness.
it's really quite something. About multi-day road trips, how to switch out during single-day ones that go past a certain amount of hours.
That's amazing.
Your spouse always gets shotgun.
Right.
Yeah, so that's another one, or your significant other in that case. A hitchhiker cannot call shotgun. Could you imagine? Hey, buddy, can you give me a ride? Shotgun.
good.
Do I have to get in the back? Who is that guy?
Probably safer.
We're just gonna drive on. Yeah, I
Keep
saw,
'em- keep
I
'em
saw
in your
what
eyesight.
Rutger Hauer did to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No digital shotguns. You can't.
Digital?
You can't text.
The word shotgun, like
Shotgun?
calling shotgun.
No, so you have to be out.
Fair enough,
You have
yeah.
to be outside. You have to have your shoes on.
Really? What?
So you just can't grab your shoes, run outside, and say shotgun.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You have to be shooed. Yeah.
Shoot to be
outside,
shotgun.
Voiding. Which sounds like excrement, but voiding. When you break a shotgun rule, as stated in this guide, you may be voided from receiving shotgun privileges for that ride.
Wow.
So, the duration of the shotgun, how to work with people who abuse the shotgun, footwear, re-entry, line of sight,
Yeah. So we
hand on door.
That's what I was just gonna say. I've met someone else who it had to be. You had to touch the vehicle.
So there'd be like a sprint
Yeah.
for who got to do shotgun. Anyways, there's like this website at shotgunrules.com if that kind of thing interests you.
It does. I'm definitely gonna take a look at that. That's so funny.
People have all of these things. It's like so like back in the day it was like more cannibalistic, more violent, but now like shotgun is like much more passive. There's no
The ride along. It's all
Yeah.
fun. It's all fun. And
it's more like
it's
more like V-gun now than shotgun.
we've taken a long time to get to any sort of history on it. We're dwelling on the modern version of shotgun, but let's get into it a little bit.
Said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
Yes. Just have a moment.
This takes you away.
All right. Well, funny enough, it's not going to surprise you. There's not much history to it. You probably already know the main place that this comes from. You're probably
I didn't know.
Oh, really? You had no nothing.
And after learning about it, I'm like, of course it is.
Right.
Yeah, so continue.
So it typically anybody who thinks they know, it came from the person riding next to the driver of said stagecoach in the Wild Wild West. And their job was to carry that shotgun to make sure, and they're mostly talking about delivering, whether it's people or precious cargo or a lockbox.
Safe,
It was
these types of things.
Yeah, the Pony Express. Well, the Pony Express was a single rider, but that kind of delivery system back in the day, someone
Right.
was riding shotgun.
Someone had the reins and the other person was shotgun.
But the funny thing is if you dig just a little bit, it's correct. But the phrase like "who's riding shotgun" or "calling shotgun" or "I'll go shotgun," saying it like that didn't exist back then. It was a thing.
Right.
People did in fact
You
do
had
it,
the shotgun.
but it wasn't called riding shotgun. So they think that most of that phrasing came from Old West movies. Because it
That's
was
fine.
obligatory that there was a guy
Right.
riding shotgun. And
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
the phrase itself being used like that came from movies, not the Wild West, except that it did really happen, just not used as a phrase.
there was a show, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was really great. It carried on in that whole Terminator vein.
Yeah.
And the Terminator, well, I don't know, she was like, looked like a teenager. She was like a slight little thing, but she was all like mechanical death machine.
Yeah.
Her name was Cameron. So in the show, it went like this, that Sarah Connor and John, they were wanting to go somewhere to get some piece of information. Sarah calls field trip. John says, I call shotgun. And then the Cameron, the robot, says, I call 9mm. Yeah, so without knowing what the idiom meant,
Yeah.
one was calling, she thought they were calling weapons. Which weapon I get?
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
AK-47.
Yeah. Of course it does.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I had this funny little observation where, and I started pulling up images from movies. And so, North American driver's side is the left side of the vehicle. But stagecoach, like riding up top with the reins, you're typically in the middle of the
That makes sense.
thing. And every image, the shotgun person was on the driver's left, which I thought was interesting. I'm like,
Is it probably because they're right-handed gun people?
oh, interesting. It has to do with how you're holding your weapon. But then wouldn't you be on the other side? It's probably coincidence, the images I looked up. I'm like, interesting, though, that it popped into my head. And
I would wonder if most people were right-handed, so you would want your driver to have his right hand free
Also
so he
available.
could help protect it as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you would protect left, maybe? I don't know. I'm just making this up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting
makes
that
sense.
their shotgun, seemingly, what I saw, was always on the opposite of what we would call shotgun.
There was a stagecoach being chased by robbers, and the robber noticed that the guy sitting shotgun was filling the barrel with red wine.
Okay.
And so he says to the other robber, he says, that idiot doesn't know what he's doing. Let's get him. The other says, whoa, wait. If he shoots it, we'll die.
What? Like DYE?
Yeah.
Oh,
Red wine is
I went
very...
over my head, and then it came back around.
It was like a boomerang.
Because I'm like, yeah, you shoot a shotgun, you're going to die.
You get
but
shot with
wait.
red wine, you'll die.
Funny. That's one of those jokes you got to read.
Yeah, maybe it's better in my head.
That was good. I just had to walk through it for a minute.
That was...
It's better. I'll confess, I got nothing. I was working on I do not have a written joke. I was working on I was actually trying to figure out how to make a knock knock joke, and then knock knock.
I read one. Here, I'll
Did you?
fill one for you.
I thought I was onto something. Maybe.
Roses are not knock knock, but the same vein. Roses are red, violets are blue. I have a gun. Get in my van. I read that. I'm like, that's terrible, but it was like
It came up, yeah.
up in the research. It kind of like
I just
even at the time I went.
Yeah. There's no emoji for that. You can only you can LOL or you can put a big laughing face. But
Side face,
most
cheers,
jokes I hear is this. Like there's no nose puff emoji.
No, because that would look like anger or like a dragon. But that's what you're feeling.
That's all it really. Yeah, that's all you usually get
If you
from
have
me.
to explain the emoji, then it kind
Yeah.
of defeats it.
Yeah, that's good.
I had, let's see, I was telling you that earlier last week I got to take a 911,
Yeah.
that Porsche around
Porsche.
all day and go on my gold hunt, and amazing. It got one-upped.
Okay.
You're like, okay, so it's like a kind of a dreamy type car, the Porsche 911 Carrera.
Sure.
You know, it's new, all the beautiful, everything about it moves like like that bat out of hell. It's crazy. The same buddy, on the next day, he's like, he texts me. It's like, you free? I'm like, for you? Whoa. He goes, I'll be right there. Pop outside your house. So I open my door, and as I'm opening my door, I can hear something coming down the road. Coming down the road. I'm like, what is this? And
What is it?
pulls up in a McLaren.
Oh my.
It was like some 650Z something or other. There's only 500 of these made.
Oh, really?
Of this particular model. And it was the most outstanding, the 675 LT. So it is a racing car. It's like a Formula F1 that's roadworthy.
Right.
And so he's like, "You want to go for a ride?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." It's like, "What were you doing?" I'm like, "I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't even know what I was doing. Look at this car." So I'm not a particular car freak, but this thing was like mesmerizing. It might as well have got inside the space shuttle for what it was.
Yeah.
He's like, "We'll bomb down to 200." So like however many blocks that is, like 40 block. It's a highway stretch for 40 blocks. And he goes, "Well, give it a little open up." And he goes, I'm selling this thing, but I'm giving it a little test spin." Okay, sounds good. I'm in. So within maybe 2.5 seconds, we hit 180
What? Kilometers an hour.
kilometers an hour. Yeah, for our American friends.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, that's enough." He goes, "That's enough. I don't want to push my luck." This thing,
Did it feel 180?
Oh yeah.
No, but like
Oh no. Like
it
you
was smooth as can be.
Yeah, well, it's like that tight suspension.
Yeah.
You can feel everything on the road. You're hugging the road. The seat is hugging you.
Yeah.
Everything is being hugged.
Yeah.
And so it was like, that was like, okay, this is why people like
Die.
Like, you can't own a vehicle like this. It has like, you are speeding detector thing. And so it talks to you. We're still in first gear going 80.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, you are exceeding the speed limit. It's like, we're still in first gear. There's 7 gears.
Man.
It was the most ridiculous. Oh, paddle control. Like,
You are exceeding the...
that was the most.
In first gear, you're exceeding the speed limit. Second, I repeat, you're exceeding the speed. Third, excuse
Stop.
me. Are you
Stop this car and let
fifth
me
gear?
out.
Okay, now you're just being silly.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Ludicrous speed.
Yeah. So it was the most insane, like, entirety of like 10 seconds. I don't know.
Super fun.
But yeah, it's like, I'm like, fairly law abiding.
I thought you were going to say
99% of the time, you're law abiding.
Sure.
That 1%
Yeah.
was used.
Would have been worth
was
the ticket
used in that
for
car.
him.
Wow.
I thought you were going to say something else. That's very applicable for what we're talking about. You rode shotgun in a McLaren. But same friend I happen to know is in a gun club. So I thought you were going to say, coincidentally, you went out and fired a shotgun.
Well, that would be amazing. That could be next week.
Right?
Yeah, he just makes my life interesting right now. Yeah, he's like the cool friend who's like shows up with neat things.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
yeah.
great.
So if you can't have something yourself, have a friend who
Have a
has
friend,
it.
right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So riding shotgun, there it is. Well, we should start looking at the end of our podcast for today.
I guess so. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Shotgun. That's Told you I got nothing.
Shotgun who? Get in my van.
Oh. Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you can make it work.
That's not bad. Shotgun who? Get in my van.
Yeah, well, before we get to riddling, let me give you a funny one here.
I'm on it.
Shotgun! I call shotgun, you're all nailed.
I call sitting on your lap.
You can't. Double shotgun, we call double shotgun. How come people don't do that more often? It's illegal.
It sounded like Chris Pratt.
It probably was Parks and Rec.
Oh, it is Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's a distant shot. I can't see who's talking, but you probably caught the right character.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm like Star-Lord?
Yeah, that's a deleted scene
Star-Lord,
from
man.
Galaxy of the Guardians
I
of
call
the Galaxy.
shotgun. It could have fit.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, Riddlink is a game we came up with that takes a 2-part trivia-based question and requires a 2-part overlapping answer, overlapping by syllable, sound, words, plural sometimes. So I got 2. How many you got?
I got a pair. Let me start this train off.
Okay.
Well, I like to have a nice dramatic pause apparently before I continue. So there
Here it
you
is.
go. Ready?
Yeah.
This is fun, a little easier, I think.
Okay.
Armed train companions, Axel and Slash.
Okay. So shotgun. Oh, obvious. Shotguns and roses.
Yes.
Yes. Riding shotguns and roses. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm firing right back at you. This yoga greeting might be said from where you're riding shotgun.
Yoga greeting.
An original shotgun rider.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Oh, am I right?
That part's right.
Okay, well, I didn't even hear the rest.
An original where you might be originally riding shotgun.
Namaste to the left?
No, or like the origins.
I'm a stagecoach.
That's it.
No, nice.
I'm a stagecoach.
Okay, so this is ramps up. This requires a bunch of knowledge.
Oh no.
She trumps all other shotguns with her dark to light hair tinting technique.
Say it again.
She trumps all other shotguns with her dark to light hair tinting technique.
Ombre. I don't know the first part. Sadly, I know the hairdressing part.
Pretty good for a bald guy. She's
Shotgun.
She's the person that
ombre.
yeah, she wins no matter what in the car, in the official rules. She's
Mombre.
it's a mombre.
Oh wow.
No matter what in the shotgun rules, mom wins. If mom's in the car, you do not put her in the back seat.
Oh man, I got to give you one really quick because our food just showed up.
Hey,
I just got buzzed. We ordered food at the beginning of this podcast.
Skip the dishes is here.
Skip the dishes here. We gotta wrap this up.
We gotta eat.
I got one more. Leave it for everybody. Tell them how they can reach us.
You can contact us at thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com or the.village.idiom on Instagram or the other 3 social networks, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube at 3 Minutes Gone.
Here it is. Riding next to the driver while singing this crustacean's song to a mermaid.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, there it is.
We enjoyed today's episode. Hope you did too. I am Skinny.
Did you enjoy it? I didn't really care for it.
And this has been the Village Idiom.
I'll be riding shotgun underneath the hot sun.
That's 3 minutes gone.